everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing Vermont versus Yamato. Turret traverse is for main battery, for the first skill slot is turret traverse speed, steering gear mod 2, concealment system mod, and then artillery potting room mod 2. Loadout is pretty basic, except you have defensive AA fire, and then we have observation seaplane. You could go enhanced secondaries or catapult fighter, that's up to you. We have epic battle booster, the standard camo, 250 years of the US Navy flag. Survivability, okay, we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, survivability, hit points 102,800. That's a lot. Torpedo damage reduction 40%, fire resistance 32%. Main battery, you get the 457mm 45 Mark A, 4 turrets, 3 guns in each, 19.8 kilometer range, 33.9 second reload time. That's really long. 30-second turret traverse, 2.25 shell grouping. Max range vertical dispersion is 128.5 meters. Horizontal is 214.1 meters. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 34.2 meters, and then horizontal is 57 meters. Max HE shell damage is 6,100. Muzzle velocity is 800 meters per second. Fire setting chance is 43%, and then armor penetration is 77 millimeters for HE. And it's kind of crazy, it's 800 meters per second. Yamato is 805, so they're pretty close. Max AP shell damage is 16,200. Yamato is 16,250. So yeah, they're pretty close. Muzzle velocity 732 meters per second. Armor penetration at point blank range is 859 millimeters. Yamato is 971 millimeters. Armor penetration at max range is 518 millimeters. And then minimum ricochet angle 45 degrees, guaranteed 60. Fuse timers 33 seconds. Fuse arming threshold 76 millimeters. Yamato is 77 millimeters. You got the dual purpose 127 millimeter Mark 32s, 8 mounts, 2 guns in each, 5 kilometer range, 6 second reload time. Shell grouping 1. Max range vertical dispersion is 315 meters, and then horizontal is the same. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 189 meters, and then horizontal is the same. HE shell damage 1800, muzzle velocity 792 meters per second, fire setting chance 5%, armor penetration 21 millimeters. You got the dual purpose secondaries right here on top is the 127 millimeter we just covered, 102 damage per second, 5 kilometer range. You got the 40 millimeter Bofors Mark II, 21 mounts, 4 guns in each, 402 damage per second, 3.5 kilometer range. You got the 20 millimeter Oerlikons Mark 20. 36 mounts, 2 guns in each, 296 damage per second, 2 kilometer range. Maneuverability, we'll get to that in just a minute. I'm going a little bit too fast for it. Sorry about that. Trying to get this video done before I head to work today. But yeah, maneuverability, you got 23.5 knot top speed, 850 meter turn circle, rudder shift time is 15.3 seconds, engines pull up time is 23 seconds, reversing it's 11 seconds, engine power multiplier speed threshold going forward is 7 knots, and reverse it's 7 knots. Concealment, okay, detectability range by sea is 13.8 kilometers, same as Yamato. After firing main guns, it's 19.8 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 15.8 kilometers. Detectability range by air is 11.5 kilometers. It's pretty similar to Yamato. After firing the main guns, 20.7 and then 14.5 kilometers respectively. And then detectability range by guaranteed is 2 kilometers. After firing in smoke, it's 15.7 kilometers. And then we will get to our armor. You got a 50 millimeter bow underneath the water. You got a 32 millimeter bow, 32 millimeter deck, and then you got a armor plate in between the bow and the deck. The bow. The 64 millimeters by 406 millimeters. In the stern, it's 50 millimeters. On bottom, it's the same, except you got a 292 millimeter belt in the rear. You got a 32 millimeter stern. You got 32 millimeter stern deck, and then 127 millimeter armor plate in between that. Torpedo protection, so your torpedo bulge is 38 millimeters of armor, And then underneath that is 318 by 406 millimeters of armor belt for torpedoes. Superstructure top plating is 19 millimeters. The conning tower is 229 millimeters on top, and then on the bottom it's 127 millimeters. And then the conning tower sides is 457 millimeters, and then the superstructure on the side is 19 millimeters. So it's paper thin. That's where people can farm most of the damage off of. Use your superstructure. If you're bow in, unless they're in YAMATO, then go straight through. Casemate, so it's the whole ship. In the rear it's 406 millimeters. The deck itself is 38 by 127 millimeter, and then your armor belt is 406 millimeters. If you armor right, there's nothing going through. In the front, you got 406 millimeters of armor. The turrets, you got 254 millimeters for your top plate, and for your rear plate, it's 356 millimeters. That's a lot more than YAMATO. On your side plating, 305 millimeters, and then the bottom plate's 127 millimeters, pretty close to YAMATO. You get a 508 millimeter frontal plate, so a little bit less than YAMATO, but still pretty good. The barbette hatch is 127 millimeters, and then the barbette armor is 127 by 381 millimeters of armor. And then the artillery room in the front is 64 millimeters, and then the deck itself for the artillery room is 51 by 127 millimeter. And then the side plating for the whole, the upper side plating, is 51 millimeters. Sorry. And then, 51 millimeters, and then in the rear it's 64 millimeters. And then the Citadel, 64 by 127 millimeters in the rear. And then on the Citadel bottom is 50 millimeters. In the front it's 64 by 406 millimeters. The deck itself is 38 millimeters. The torpedo bulkhead is 41 millimeters of armor. So yeah, it's a really well armored ship. As long as you angle good. Guns, big guns. This ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns. Guns of plenty. A high number of guns allows for a lot of damage from a single salvo. Slow, below average maximum speed. During World War I Dreadnought race, 6 projects for a battleship with maxed out capabilities were created. The engineers were given a lot of room to maneuver, with only one limitation: the ship had to be able to go through the Panama Canal. The first project was a bit more conservative than the others, featuring 12 high-caliber guns and 4 turrets, along with exceptionally powerful armor. Year of design 1945. Yeah, this ship is for free also. You can get it in the store for 30 million credits, and then you can research it in the Bureau. And it's well worth it, I think. I love Vermont. It's one of my favorite. It's my second battleship I ever got from the Bureau. Azulane, Colorado for the commander, flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, courageous shelling, fight fire with fire, Richelieu, and then Andrew Cunningham for inspirations. But you could go with anybody. And then C, you could also do Azulane, New Jersey. It's not much of a difference. You got less accuracy, but you could do more damage to the Citadel. It doesn't show that, but you can. Or you could go with Free Commander, which is William Sims. It's actually a guy's I got on him, that electrician, for free. But for this demonstration, we're going to use Azulane, Colorado. YAMATO, aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment, and then main battery mod 3. Loadout, observation seaplane, or you could do the secondary booster, or the catapult fighter, epic battle booster, standard camo, and the Mutsu flag. And then we'll get to the specs here in just a minute. Survivability, 90,000 hit points, 55% torpedo damage reduction, 32% resistance to fire. Main battery, you got 3 turrets with 3 guns in each. The 460mm Type 94, 19.7 kilometer range, 26.1 second reload time. Reload's a lot better, 39.1 second turret traverse. Turret traverse is a lot worse, 2.03. Shell grouping is a lot worse. Max range vertical dispersion is 127.9 meters, horizontal is 213.2 meters. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 37.9 meters, horizontal 63.1 meters. Max HE shell damage 7,300, muzzle velocity 805 meters per second. So 5 meters per second faster than Vermont. 35% chance to set fire, so a little bit less than Vermont. Armor penetration's better though, 115mm instead of 77, I think it was. Max AP shell damage is 16,265. So pretty much the same as Vermont. A little bit more. 780 meters per second muzzle velocity, 971mm armor penetration at point blank range, 592mm of armor penetration at max range. Minimum ricochet angle 50 degrees, guaranteed 65 degrees. Fuse timer is 33 seconds. Fuse arming threshold 77mm. I don't agree with Wargaming on that. They proved that the American 457mm is just as powerful as the Japanese 460mm, but World of Warships doesn't want to hear it. You got the dual purpose 127mm Type 89 Mod 3, 12 mounts, 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range, 6 second reload time, 1 shell grouping. Max range vertical dispersion is 312.8 meters. Horizontal is the same. Max range vertical dispersion is 187.7 meters. Horizontal is the same. 2100 max HE shell damage, 725 meters per second muzzle velocity, 8% chance to set fire, 21mm of armor penetration. You got the 155mm third year type, 2 mounts, 3 guns in each. These are the guns that are on, I think it's, Blazing Dread, 5.2 kilometer range. Reload time is 12 seconds. Shell grouping is 1. The dispersion is identical to the 127mm. Max HE shell damage 2600, 925 meters per second. Muzzle velocity 10% chance to set fire. Armor penetration is 26mm. AA, you got the dual purpose 127mm on top, 105 damage per second, 5 kilometer range. You got the 25mm Type 96 Model 1, 28 mounts, 3 guns in each, 266 damage per second, 3.1 kilometer range. You get the Mod 2, 25mm, 24 mounts, 3 guns in each, 228 damage per second. Firing range is 3.1 kilometer. You got the 13mm Type 93, 2 mounts, 2 guns in each, 12 damage per second, 1.2 kilometer firing range. 25mm 60 Type 96 Model 1, 6 mounts, 1 gun in each, 57 damage per second, 3.1 kilometer range. Maneuverability, 27 knot top speed, 900 meter turning circle. Rudder shift time is 15.3 seconds. Engine spool up time is 23 seconds. Reverse is 11 seconds. Engine power multiplier speed threshold 7 knots. Reversing it's 9 knots. And then for detectability, you got 13.8 kilometers detectability range by sea. After firing main guns, it's 19.7 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, 15.8 kilometers, same as Vermont. Detectability range by air is 11.6 kilometers. After firing main guns, it's 20.8 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 14.6 kilometers. Guaranteed 2. After firing in smoke is 16 kilometers. And then we'll get to the armor in just a minute. Oh, sorry, I went a little bit ahead of you guys, but you can go ahead and look over all that now. I'm currently in the process of getting ready to head out the door to work. So I'm trying to get this video created, do the voiceover, so I can go ahead and get it uploading for you guys so you can enjoy it while I'm at work. And I'll make another one tonight for you whenever I get home. We'll do another comparison video between GK and Montana. And I would also like to do a video with Prussian versus, or however you want to pronounce that name, versus another legendary tier battleship. We might do it versus, let's see, what's a good one? I guess we could do Louisiana. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good comparison video. But here's the armor. You got a 50 millimeter underneath the bow, 32 by 50 millimeter deck on the bow, 32 millimeter bow, 50 millimeters on the stern, 32 by 50 millimeter stern deck, 32 millimeter stern. Torpedo protection 32 millimeters, bottom is 50 millimeters. The superstructure 19 by 75 millimeters on top, 270 millimeters on the conning tower on the top, 135 millimeters on the bottom of the conning tower, 500 millimeters on the side of the conning tower. Superstructure side plating 19 by 75 millimeters. The casemates of the whole ship 25 millimeters in the rear, 25 millimeters in the front, 32 millimeter armor belt, 57 millimeter deck. The turrets is pretty similar to Vermont. The top plate's 270 millimeters, the rear plate's less, 190 millimeters. The side plating's the same, 250 millimeters. The bottom plate's 135 millimeters, very similar to Vermont. The barbet's way better, 560 millimeters. The frontal plate is 650 millimeters. The Citadel's got a sloping deck. It's 230 by 340 millimeters. The Citadel bottom's 50 by 80 millimeter, and then the Citadel in the front, or is that the rear? Yes, the front, 100 millimeters by 370 millimeters. Yeah, almost. Citadel deck, 200 millimeters. Citadel in the rear is 100 millimeters by 370 millimeters. The Citadel armor belt's 80 millimeter by 410 millimeters of armor. Sorry about that. And then we will get to the overview here in just a second. Yeah, see, look at that armor. It's got a lot of armor on the Citadel. See, 100 by 270 millimeter, and then the front's 80 by 410, or the armor belt, I mean. And then the overview: ironclad, above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration, superior AP pen, above average AP shell penetration, big guns. The ship is armored with high caliber main battery guns. The biggest warship of World War II and the world's largest battleship, YAMATO, was designed around the idea that an individual ship could have superiority over any battleship of a potential enemy. Her main guns had overwhelming firepower. The ship maintained a very high level of survivability due to her reliable armor, robust torpedo protection. YAMATO's AA capabilities were highly efficient due to carrying numerous AA artillery guns. Entered service 1941, ships in service 4. I hope you enjoy the video. Sorry about the interruptions. We're going to do the video in training room. I'm going to play Vermont against YAMATO first, YAMATO being AI, and then I'm going to do YAMATO versus Vermont. Me and YAMATO versus AI Vermont. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for stopping by.
この時を待ちわびていた。全艦、このビッグセブンに続け。敵を確認。注意して対処を。
We are the Borg. Existence as you know it is over. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Resistance is futile. Enemy fleet detected. Resistance chance high. Plasma leak detected.